it alone, and we're going to go it alone. We're going to go it alone right now with Kevin Scholla. Let's bring Kevin on. He's the best. Kevin, are you there?
Hey, Trade. How you been?
Everything is good, man. My friend, very good. Listen, I see. I went to your site just to check things out. It's great, the Palin update. And I see you had a lot of guests on. Who's the last guy you had on who's running for the governorship of California? I saw Tim something. What?
Yeah, you got it. That's our latest guest is Tim Donnelly. He's a assemblyman in California right now, and in a state that, as you know, has been as blue could get over the last few years, not only in the color that we use to say Democrat, but also in their feeling. I mean, a lot of people feeling blue out there. I have friends in California who've moved, Trade. They've left. They've packed up and went to Texas, where you could actually say things like Christmas and God and hello.
I know, man.
So, Tim Donnelly, a voice here in the dark. Hopefully he'll get a little attention, but I heard your bit before about Obama going it alone against Republicans. But, these Republicans have a hand in it, too. Donnelly's having a hard time.
I know.
He's having
everybody, of course.
He's having a hard time getting support right now because, sour grapes from them. They don't have their hand-picked establishment guy. And here's a guy who, wants to do what's right, not listen to these party bosses.
Yeah, but they don't want that. They want to go along with all this stuff. That's what's funny about it. I mean, we're dealing with the Republican Party who are really Democrats. I mean, they're really like Democrats now. The conservatives are the ones like you with Sarah Palin and me and Sarah Palin, Ted Cruz, and we are the champions. Well, anyway,
isn't that something, though, Trade? You mentioned Palin, you mentioned Cruz, and then you have to stop and almost think for a minute. How bad is that? I mean, we're to that point where you say, well, who do you really trust? And one person's not even in office when you mention Palin. So you look at people in Washington. I mean, you'll hear along with Cruz maybe a Mike Lee, maybe a Rand Paul, and then some congresspersons, Paul Gosar perhaps in Arizona, and a couple others. But it's unbelievable. I mean, you're looking at, remember in the 90s, even when, Bush against Clinton, we thought those guys were rough. Whoa, they look pretty good right now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. I'll tell you what. You know what? I wanted to ask you this. How do you feel about it? Because I have definite feelings about it. About Palin, a lot of people think, well, listen, I got a feeling she's going to definitely run for the Senate, the Alaskan Senate. And you think so?
Listen, I don't have a handicap on it right now. It's hard to say, and I like that she keeps things close to the vest in that respect. But, it would be nice to have her in office in some capacity, whether it be in Alaska and Washington or in Washington in a higher office. But it's amazing what she's doing now, not even holding office. She's doing more than most of these guys that are there.
She's a big voice. She's the biggest voice in the conservative thing. She's like Jim. If Jim DeMint maybe was before a little bit, with her, but now Jim DeMint is into that other thing, and she's the main voice. Yeah.
But DeMint, I'm glad you brought him up because he is another good one. He really is.
He's great. I love DeMint.
Like you said, the Heritage Foundation now, but he has a new book out or about to come out, and so I think that maybe you'll see him into the mix again a little bit. He may have done the smartest thing, getting out of that cesspool, go into the Heritage Foundation for a while, and maybe he'll jump back in. But I always found him, very, very Reagan-esque from the standpoint of just how he carries himself, how he speaks.
Yes.
A believable, likable guy, just like Palin is a believable, likable person. And like you said, they're few and far between, but that's another one. But again, someone not in office. These guys in office, you're one worse than another. And that's the biggest problem. You talk about Obama, doing whatever he wants and usurping everything and going against the Constitution with executive orders and whatnot. But you know what? Who do you blame? You blame these so-called Republican leaders who just sit back and give in.
They're being wusses. They're wusses. They're not confronting him. But like Rand Coulter said. But I said it years ago. The only reason that Barack got elected is because he was black. you know. Otherwise, we would be sad, but we'd have had Hillary. She may have been a teensy-weensy bit better than him, but not much. But I think he was just elected because he's black. And now they can't impeach him because he's black. I mean, you know, they don't take the half-white side into consideration. I call him half-white. He's half-white as far as I'm concerned. He's not even a black guy to me, you know.
I mean, he was elected for that for two reasons. One, because, like you said, Republicans, McCain, Romney especially, and their handlers, were afraid to go after him on things that had absolutely nothing to do with race. You know, like Bill Ayers, like Reverend Wright, like anything, but they didn't do it because they were worried of being called racist, because that's the thing, you do anything, you're called racist. But it also helped them because you had large groups of voters who normally don't vote, black voters, college kids, single people.
Yeah, they came out of the woodwork to vote for him.
Right,
yes,
and they voted, but they don't like his policies. They don't. Half of them don't even. And all the voters, they don't even know his policies. They like the guy, you know, because Beyonce and Matt Damon told them to like the guy.
Right.
I mean, it's as simple as that. Pathetic as it sounds, you know, it's true. I said all along, if Joe Biden were president instead of Obama and had the same record that Obama had over these 4 years, Mitt Romney would have won by 15 points.
Oh, yeah, it's true. But he'd be out, though. We would have got rid of him, I think. You know, well,
first of all, he never would have been allowed to run either, Trade. Only, you know, a couple years in the Senate, they would have said, you know, wait your turn. But they ran him because, you know, they were going to use that, and they used it to their advantage brilliantly. And, you know, Hillary dropped the ball on that. She didn't use the fact that she was a woman at all. And she tried a little bit maybe with the cracks in the ceiling speech, but other than that, she shied away from that, and that was really a dumb move on her part because Obama embraced the whole, hey, look, be part of history, elect the first black president. He used that to his advantage, and it worked, and Hillary dropped the ball on that completely.
Yeah,
and,
because
you
she
know,
could have said elect the first, play on elect the first woman president, of course.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Well, she doesn't want to be a woman anyway. Listen, Kevin, let's get away from that. But I don't think so. Well, you know that Bill said to Jennifer Flowers that she had more women than Hillary had more women than he had. You know, I mean, I don't even want to say the word on the air, but but anyway, let's not even go into it. But you think that you know, because I don't think Palin would ever want to try to clean up this Barack Obama horrendous mess in 2016. I have no doubt that she's not going to run in 2016. No doubt.
Well, I put it this way. If she does not run, I think she would be the best person, clearly.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
But if she does
win. I think she could win.
I do too. And she could win. And here's the biggest reason why she could win. Let's assume Hillary is the nominee, and I don't know that that's going to be the case. I mean, remember years ago, it was Hillary and Giuliani, right. And it was Obama and McCain. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Look, Christie was the darling of the world a few months ago till all this nonsense. So you never know what's going to happen. But I will say this: Hillary or anyone else, but especially Hillary. Palin is one of the few who would call her out on Benghazi, on everything else. She would demand, could you imagine during a debate, hey, Secretary Clinton, look in the camera and explain to the American people what happened that night and where you dropped the ball. She would do that. Cruz may do that. There's not many others that would do that. You saw how Romney and McCain let Obama get away with so much. Remember Romney, he had that one night of success in that debate, and he shied away from it. But I'll tell you this, if she does not run, Trade, we do need someone like her to run, because if you have, again, another less bad candidate, it's another loss.
Yeah, of course.
You need an opposite. You need a Reagan type. And that's Palin.
They're gonna push Christie or Jeb Bush. You know they are.
Yeah, well, they are already. Well, you know what's interesting? You notice now with the Christie situation, he's getting hammered in New Jersey, for personal politics. But notice that the national Democrats aren't saying much. They're kind of shying away from that. You know why? Because they know they could beat him. They know
Right.
that Hillary could beat him. So they're keeping quiet, hoping, praying that Christie's the guy. Well, they don't pray.
No, they could beat him because he's not going to win. He's not going to win the national thing.
They don't pray, of course. I misspoke. But
Right.
you know, but you know what I mean. They like Jeb Bush. That's the problem. It would be like a McCain situation. Hillary wouldn't know what to do with Jeb because they agree on so much.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's leaning to the left. But listen, how about Rick Perry? I love Rick Perry.
Yeah, you know, he had the troubles, you know, the media-induced troubles. Yeah, but I mean, so what? I mean, you know, if Biden or Obama said that, nobody would do it. No, Perry, you know, has had a good relationship with Sarah Palin. You know, it's a name. Who knows what's going to happen? But you know, we're going to find out soon. But there's fish to fry before that, of course, with this year, with 2014, because this is a big deal. This, you know, could completely handcuff Obama for the rest of his presidency, at least if they could get some seats in the Senate.
I'm very confident we're going to win the Senate. I'm very confident we're going to win the Senate. I would make a bet on it.
Well, I think they know that, and I think that's why Obama keeps saying that he'll just go around Congress. And he'll go around. He's got a pen and he's got a phone.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to go around the House and the Senate because if they'll really chain him up.
What will they do? Honestly, what will they do?
Well,
what have they done?
They'll put impeachment things up against him, I'll tell you that. Right now, we have no chance to impeach him, which is the House. But if we had the House and the Senate, we could scare him with impeachment. We probably wouldn't be able to impeach him finally, but we could scare him.
And you got to get a bunch of these Republicans out too. You have to get them out through the primary and get real conservative, common sense candidates who are running as a Republican too. Because otherwise, what do you get? You know, you get John Boehner, you get Cantor, you get McConnell. I mean, what you know? It's as I said, it's less bad. It's not good.
Right, all the jive stuff. You know who I like a lot, Kevin? I don't know why, but I like John Bolton. I don't think he could be president, you know, because I don't think he's famous enough. But I like John Bolton. Why? Why do I like John Bolton?
Well, you know, I think I do know why, and I think we just mentioned it a moment ago. I think he speaks like a regular person, just like Sarah Palin.
Yeah,
you know,
I think he's. So too, yeah.
You know what? I think he's someone who brings it to you. He's not. It's not a teleprompter reader. And these are people that you can respect, whether you agree with them on everything or not, because you know at least you're getting what they really feel and what they really will do. Whereas we're so used to this nonsense, whether it be Washington, you know, or Sacramento or Trenton or Harrisburg or any state capital you want to talk about, it's the same thing. You hear one thing and then, oh, well, but then I got in and I didn't know.
Yeah, and they did something else, yeah.
Right, as opposed to sticking to it. All these GOP guys who ran on defunding Obamacare and then, well, we didn't really know, but reelect me anyway. It's ridiculous.
Well, the only guy that stuck to his guns was Ted. Was Ted Cruz and of course Mike Lee. But listen, you know who I like also? I like Scott Walker a lot.
Yeah, you know, Susan Stimson, who is one of our contributors on the Palin Update, she does a Commonwealth Common Sense segment with us every show. She's pretty high on him too, and I think that's a lot of the other reasons that we just talked about, the same situation.
Yeah, he's straightforward, honest.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and he has some plans, and at least he comes forth with something, you know. And that recall election, which Palin did, you know, officially endorse his running mate, the lieutenant governor there, Rebecca Clayfish, and she also backed Scott Walker, gave some words to him. Look how well he did in that recall, both of them winning that, and then it was sandwiched around 2 Democrat wins there in Wisconsin. So it shows that he's been able to have even others vote for him who are not in his party or maybe inclined to agree with him on everything, but they say, all right, he's the real article. So, you know, I think people, I would think people are sick of all this phony nonsense, but unfortunately I think a lot of people are just completely out of it and apathetic.
They're apathetic.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't even care. They don't even want to hear about politics. And, you know, the ignorance is bliss. You know, most of the people who are voting for the Obama style is they're basically, I hate to say it, you know, that they're ignorant, but they are. They're not stupid, but they're ignorant.
You look at Obama. What are the highest ratings of when he like the other night he speaks before the NBA All-Star game? He talks to Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you go on Twitter and everyone's talking about that. Oh, isn't that great? Meantime, you don't want answers on Benghazi. You don't want answers on NSA. You don't want answers on all. I mean, we could go on and on. There's a whole laundry list of what's been going on since '09. But if he's on, on a Tonight Show or Letterman or all this other stuff that you know, remember when Nixon first went on primetime television like that with "Sock It to Me," that was a big deal. Like, whoa, the president went on one of these things. Or when Bill Clinton played the saxophone on Arsenio, it happened, every once in a blue moon, and that's why it was so incredible. And people were like, oh, how can you believe that? Now this guy, that's all he does.
On all the time. He's on everything. Yeah, he's on everything.
Yeah, when he's not golfing or playing basketball poorly. He's doing this, or when Michelle's not telling us what to eat, what I can't eat, or what I can't drink, they're on these shows.
I'm trying to find out who his PR man is. That's what I want to know.
Well,
I want to hire his PR. I want to hire his PR man. What?
There's a good reason why he's on those shows, because that's most of these people, the low information voters, don't watch the news or don't watch cable news like Fox News. They don't listen to Limbaugh or Hannity or Levin. So they get their news.
So they go with Jon Stewart.
Right, exactly. And all the late night comedians. And they were just talking about that tonight on the news. They were saying that it's the culture that is shaping how people think. And I don't know, that's what Andrew Breitbart tried to pound into people's heads. And I don't know what it's going to take for us on the right to get that and to start doing something about it instead of just lamenting that the left owns Hollywood, that the left owns the music industry. Okay, so why aren't we building studios? Why aren't we building TV stations and radio stations that cater to the right so that we can start shaping hearts and minds? That's what I don't understand.
That's what you're doing, Lisa. That's what you've been doing, which is great. And that's what Kevin's doing with his state radio station.
That is well said, though, and that point is taken. I write for Breitbart, and I'll tell you.
So does Lisa. Lisa does too. You know that.
I'll tell you what. It is really exactly what he wanted, and it's something that Sarah Palin talks about. She says we have to infiltrate pop culture. That's why she puts up so many posts and comments about sports, because these are things that people who still are conservative or have common sense and have families and go to church, guess what? They still are involved in all these things and love entertainment and love music and this and that. But you have so many who these high and mighty so-called conservatives who just shy away from it. No, that's not the way to do it. You attack it head on. You get right in there. And you see with Chick-fil-A, with Duck Dynasty, with a lot of the things we've seen over the years, that when push comes to shove, we actually win on these things.
Absolutely. All the time.
So, yeah,
almost every time.
Very, very frustrating. Anyways, you got to
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that are involved in Hollywood and the music business, and a lot of them. I mean, I've been in Screen Actors Guild for many years in AFTRA. A lot of them are very much afraid. There's a lot of conservatives that are closet conservatives because they're afraid because if they come out, they're not going to get hired. And for me, I always work for myself.
But there's plenty of people that are out in the open that have talent. Support them. Support the people that are not hiding.
Well, that makes them, it's impressive, isn't it? Because they are under the gun. But when you hear, like, say, Janine Turner or Patricia Heaton or, Kevin Sorbo or Kirk Cameron, I mean, the list goes on and on. They're there. But, a lot of them established a name first and kind of were able to, make some friends in the business. You start out and walk in there guns ablaze and look at me. I'm, come in there with a Palin sticker on your truck. You're not getting that role.
No, but you start building studios that don't hire liberals. You start building TV stations and radio stations that don't hire liberals. And then you turn people that have talent on the right, you turn them into celebrities so that they have 1 million followers on or more on Twitter, so that when you say Obamacare sucks on Twitter, you just gotten 1 million people to see your point of view. So,
and you know what would happen, though, too? And I think you see it already? They wouldn't not hire liberals. They would just not hire conservatives. See, that's the difference. Yeah. A conservative outlet would hire the best qualified people who are going to do the job. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas we have this other thing here. Well, I mean, look at this situation. I mean, I always said sports was the only place where this didn't happen, where, it's the best guy's going to be there because it's all about winning and getting it done. But you know what? Over recent years, it's even getting there, too. You see how Tim Tebow can't get a job, and here Michael Sam is now the hero of all heroes because he told everybody he has sex with men. Who cares?
Right.
If he's a good player, and he certainly was in the SEC, great. So team wants him, sign him. If he can play, great. If not. Who cares about this? And the sad part about it is the media twists this stuff, as you both know, to the way they want it to go when they actually have better stories there. Michael Sam, for instance, he came from a really weird family situation.
Oh, yeah?
He had to rely on help from other people. He actually has a really great story that has zero to do with the fact that he's gay. Okay, and then they did the same thing with Richard Sherman a few weeks back. Oh, he screamed after he won a game. Who cares? Meanwhile, the guy came out of Compton. He said he didn't eat some nights, and he went on and got a master's degree in Stanford. There's your story. But no, we have to make it. Oh, you got to have an enemy here and call somebody a racist or call somebody a homophobe. That's ridiculous.
Right.
He's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. There's no doubt about it.
Hey, I just want to let you know, Trade, that the mystery colonel is also on the line. So.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, tell him to hold on for a second, all right?
Yeah.
Tell him to hold on a
Sure.
second.
Sure.
In the meantime, how about Kevin? 71% of Obama supporters regret voting for him the second time. Did you read about that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, shouldn't they? Well, you mentioned Tim Donnelly being on my show in California. Right. He told me Rob Schneider, the actor, is supporting him. Rob Schneider is no conservative. He is not a conservative. You saw John Lovitz come out ripping Obama prior to the 2012 election. These are guys who are far from conservative, and they've even been let down. So really, it's only those who are putting up a front who could. I mean, how could you say that this has been a success in any way, shape, or form? The lies, the cover-ups, the failures.
Forget about it. It's embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for the guy. I'm really embarrassed for Obama. I mean, how could he stand in front of people? I don't know. He's just lying. He just blatantly lies to everybody.
But they don't care anymore. They don't care. They don't care that if we all know they're lying.
They don't. I mean, anybody who could come out and tell me that what do they think? We're jerks? A YouTube video, was the cause of the Benghazi attack? I mean, I got to laugh at the guy. So, get out of here. Get out of my office. You want to tell me stuff like that? Are you kidding me? But
there's not even a smidgen of corruption in the IRS.
Right.
That's why Lois Lerner pled the fifth, right? That's why she.
Right. Yet all of these. Right. Even Oliver Stone, right?
Yeah, Oliver Stone is saying he said he was going to be transparent. Oh yeah, he's transparent, all right. I mean, this schmuck fell for all this stuff. I mean, we knew before he got elected what a schmuck he was, and now these guys are just finding out now. I mean, that's how smart they really think they're really brilliant. And then these guys got taken. They got taken by a con artist.
They sure did. And when you control what's put out there, it's not too hard to do, and they did it to perfection.
They did. Listen, Kevin, I want to thank you for being with us. You're a great guest all the time. I want you to come back. I want to get to my friend the Colonel, my buddy the Colonel, and I got another Kevin calling in. He's got a radio show. He's got an oldies radio show in about 2 minutes. We only have a few minutes left anyway. But I want to thank you for being on with us tonight. You're a great guest, and you're a great guy, and I'm honored that you would come on the show.
Well, Trade, I appreciate it. You're doing a great job anytime. And if anybody wants to check out the Palin update, please go to sarahnetradio.net. And you could also follow us on Twitter at SarahNetRadio, and I'm on Twitter at Kevin Scholla. And Trade, enough with the snow already, all right? I don't want to put a hit out on your friend, the groundhog.
I love snow. I got a snow angel tutorial on YouTube if you want to see it. No.
Listen, I might be calling somebody from your neck of the woods to go visit Punxsutawney Phil if I'm a little upset about this.
Punxsutawney doesn't know. Punxsutawney, it's not his fault. It really isn't his fault.
All right, I'll let him slide if you say so. And my best to little Elvis.
Oh, thank you. All right, good. And we'll be in touch. And I want you to come back in a couple of weeks. We'll talk a little more. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Kevin, you're the best. Thank you very much. Kevin Scholla, everybody. Thank you, Kevin. I'll talk to you later.